Hello, son. On our ride to school, you asked me why I go to school if it's just to drop you off. It's because I love you, and I am a time miser. I could be a rich man dealing with business, but instead, I choose to be near you, doing things that few people do nowadays, such as spending time with you, talking with you, listening to you. Your great grandfather, maternal grandfather, he was the one that I lived with from when I have memory, from probably 2 years old to 7 years old. And he owned all of this land in Honduras, right? The reason he did it was because he didn't want to have any neighbors. To me, it seemed like a huge amount of land. When I was older, he said it was only 10 acres, 10 manzanas. I still don't know what a manzana is, 10 apples. So the neighbors would ask him if they could put the cows there, and he would say, yes, just give me one cow, not to eat it, but for the milk for my grandchildren. And on the other side, I used to listen to the voices of children playing, whereas I was like Siddhartha, the Buddha, playing by myself. So one time I asked him, how come I hear voices coming from the trees? And he explained to me that on the other side there was an aldea, SOS, an SOS village for children that didn't have parents. So I thought about one day I would like to go through there and to see them. But I didn't go through there because there were a bunch of snakes and so on. Your Uncle Sal was not an obedient child. I was extremely obedient. So one time he's over there and Grandpa comes out of the stairs and he yells, Salvador, ven para acá. But of course, your uncle didn't obey. That was the first time I saw your great grandpa run. He grabbed the machete which was hanging somewhere and he ran in that direction, opposite of his grandson, right? My brother. And he chopped the snake, picked it up and said to him, holding it with the machete, when I call you, you come. And he dropped it or whatever he did with it. It was going towards you. Iba hacia ti. That's what he said. So I felt protected with my grandpa. He was a military soldier. He didn't have closeness, no. Nobody could get close to him. I used to take him to the doctor. I didn't know what was wrong with him. Eventually I put two and two together. He must have had cancer in his throat because he said the water tastes terrible. I think I heard the word chemotherapy or I saw it somewhere in the signs. And he used to say about his cigarettes, si no tengo mis cigarrillos, siento que no tengo amigos. If I don't have my cigarettes with me, I feel that I don't have any friends. So in one interpretation, I could say that he called his cigarettes his friends. In another one, long ago, people used to walk around with cigarettes and they used to say, hey, would you like a cigarette? That was the way they offered friendship. Now, in today's society, we know that cigarettes are bad for you. I've also heard recently, in the last 10 years, that whoever offers you a beer is not your friend. from what I heard about my dad, he wasn't a drinker. Grandpa, my maternal grandpa was, but whiskey, wine, they were Italians and Spaniards from Spain and Italy and so on. So they like, I heard in history that the water was actually bad for you if you drank it. So people used to drink wine even as children. I don't give you any wine right now because in this country the laws are very strict. They would say, oh, he's a dad, he gives him wine and all that. So you could taste it when you're 21. It wasn't anything special. I did like red wine. Red wine. For years I thought Bob Marley sang that song. And then someone corrected me and said it was UB40. UB40. That's the name of the band. All right. So do the best you can in this life. Help as many people as you can. That's the reason that God puts them in front of you. At the same time, avoid negative people, negative places, and negative things. Read about the saints. I'm reading about them now. I would like to become one of them. In business, there's a word called the trade-off. If you're painting a house, then you're not watching a movie, or maybe you are. The trade-off is, I'm investing time in you, my son, so that you get higher and higher level than I am. We're talking about Mrs. M or Miss M. She's 80 some years old, and her son, I just found out, is running for Congress or some type of political office or something high level. All right, not everyone can get that high. And the question was asked by a lady, all right, your mom, what about taking care of his mother or bringing his mother towards him? And what I have to say about that is, even though family is supposed to help each other, sometimes when children want to achieve something real high, in some books they call them narcissists. These children do achieve it. Oh, my son is the president, or my son is the doctor, and so on. Yeah, but who was the son that took his mother to the doctor? Who was the son that took his grandpa to the doctor? Who was the one that was near? You see? That's why some people say, have 10 children, one of them will take care of you. And others say, have a daughter, or else you're in trouble. So in many ways, I'm a feminine man. I stay close by. I put up with a lot of things that many people don't put up with. Be the change you want to see in the world. Gandhi said that. Be the change you want to see in the world. Dr. V as in, Dr. V from India. He came to the United States and saw McDonald's, and he imagined himself using that example to turning hospitals into rapid surgery places. And he operated on the eyes and trained doctors to operate 10 hours a day with so many clients. And at the end, Dr. V said, I was a dreamer, but now the dream has come true. And we have removed one of the sicknesses in the world, which is blindness caused by, I believe the word is cataracts. What he got was he got a driver and he got some young girls to go to the villages to pick up the old people, because the young relatives love their parents and so on, but if they have to travel to take the old man or old woman to the hospital, they have to give up a day of work, or maybe 2 days or 3 days. So he got these buses to go and round up the old people. Do something great, son. Read your Bible so that you'll know what to do. Those are the instructions from God. I like the way I spoke with in 7 Cups of Tea. It's a website. I wrote to a lady, or I think it was a lady, and she wrote back to me and said that the Bhagavad Gita is the book of answers. So there are many religions. Love must be in each. The main message must be love. We must have love for our neighbor and for our God. The Bible has answers, but few people understand the Bible. What I say is just read about the Good Samaritan and be like him.